चालू है आपका?
वो भी तो चालू है.
डायरेक्टर चालू है
ना, ये लगाया है सही से.
हाँ
हाँ ये चालू है वो चालू है ऐसे डायरेक्टर चालू है.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Half time in the opening game of IPL 2025. Defending champions, home team, Kolkata Knight Riders. Not the finish necessarily that they would have wanted. 174 is where that innings finishes. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Riggin for timeout. Got the trio next to me. Piyush, Chawla, Ambati Rayudu, Varun, Aaron. I'm quite liking the three of you together. You're rubbing off nicely off each other. Right now, only Varun Aaron seems to have hit it perfectly. What did you say, Mr. Aaron, pre-match?
170.
170. But they should have got 220s, what Ambati Rayudu said. 190 also could have been a recovery. But surely that's a disappointing batting performance, Varun, towards the end?
For sure, it's pretty much a telephone number barring three batsmen. It would have been really good if they just carried on the momentum, because I think the RCB bowlers were already panicking. They were already resorting to death even from the second or third over. And it was KKR's innings to take at least till the end, but we just saw a huge collapse, and which was not expected really.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on what that innings, what stands out in that innings for you.
No, I think main thing was pitch was a little too paced and a few balls were really taking off. Even off the spinners, we have seen some variable pace and also bounce on the pitch. Barring that partnership, a lot of the batsmen felt difficult to get their timing right, and they were beaten by pace of the spinners. If you look at it, the faster balls that actually have beaten them.
But 100+ partnership between Narayan and Rahane, and 107 at the halfway mark. Surely you at least get to 190 from there, 200.
Yeah, you expect them to get to 190 because 107, and then after that the way they lost their wicket. It's not about that RCB bowlers were getting the wickets; they were losing the wickets. So as Varun mentioned, it was quite a disappointing batting by them, by the middle order. And even if you see the last few overs, Ramandeep last over didn't even get the strike. You just have to bat sensibly. the batter is at the other end, you just have to take one and give 5 balls to him, because those 5, 7, 8 runs makes a huge difference in these kind of games.
Yeah, you called it when you saw Harshit Rana walk out that he wasn't looking to get Ramandeep on strike. These are little cricket smarts that I think would really infuriate a coach or a man or a dugout.
For sure, Piyush has absolutely hit the nail on the head. You can't afford to slog 3 dot balls at the last over. I understand if the intent was trying to get a single, you could explain that to the coach. But when you go out there, he walked out looking like he's going to absolutely decimate the RCB bowlers. That was his body language. It's not that easy when you got somebody like Josh Hazlewood bowling at you. There should have been a little more cricket smarts, but all in all, the KKR lower order and the middle order is going to be really unhappy with themselves.
Let's look at key moments. I think Krunal Pandya getting Venki Iyer as well as I think Rinku Singh out. Now break that down for me, Rayudu.
I think both were slightly faster through the air. He bowled a bouncer before that. If he
there's a story there, isn't it? Like in terms of what he's trying to do. Venki Iyer is one of the few batters who comes out without a helmet.
So I think he played in his mind, saying that I could bowl a bouncer, but Venki Iyer maybe overreacted, trying to really play the ball outside the off stump, which was just a slider towards mid wicket in that long leg gap. So I think it's little there in the pitch, because it's a drying pitch, which is not actually easy, because a few balls were coming, few balls were really taking off, few balls were stopping. So I think it was a tricky pitch.
They needed one of those hitters, one guy to just hang around with Ramandeep. We thought it might be Russell, and Suyash Sharma, which you spoke of, lead spinner for this team now and had a tough first 3 overs, then gets the Russell wicket. What's the overall assessment?
Well, the way he started bowling, he was bowling too quick. He started off with the seam up delivery. You don't often see that, because as a spinner you want to try to turn the ball, which he was not trying to do that. He was just pushing it through. But in that last over where he got Russell's wicket, although that ball was there to hit for a 6, but it spun a little bit too much, and which Russell must have expected, and that's why he lost his wicket. But overall, the way Suyash bowled, RCB must be thinking that they have to look for other options. Although it's too early in the tournament, but he's the lead spinner, he has to take that charge.
10 overs of spin, we didn't really pick it up at the time, but they didn't have a lot of seam bowling options to go to.
Look, Yash Dayal started off a bit iffy, because if you see the lengths he bowled at the start, somebody with his skills, he could have utilized his skills more. He can swing the ball, but he was already bowling too full to both batsmen, especially Narayan. I think they looked at Narayan and they were like, you know what, we're just going to bowl defensive plans. You can actually attack and get Narayan out. I don't know why they don't realize this, especially with the skills they possess. But anyway, it's a learning. It's a first game.
You don't think they bowled well to Narayan? They kept him quiet at the start.
They kept him quiet, but he got 40 odd runs, right? At one point, he wasn't even getting back to ball. So at that point, instead of still bowling defensively, they should have been on the money and be like, you know what, he's not hitting it today. We can get him out here. But then he accelerated and scored 44. Could be very important runs.
Yeah, which goes to the first assessment of Rajat Patidar, the captain in the IPL, where we were looking at the power play and thought, okay, these are some interesting bowling changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought so, because as Varun mentioned, he was struggling to play against seam bowling, and then suddenly Krunal Pandya comes into the attack, which eases all the pressure, and he could really get off those big shots. So I think early days for Patidar, maybe too much noise around. Maybe he just needs to calm down, soak it in. And then,
why are you laughing?
Have the
have
the last word as a captain.
I'm laughing because Eden Gardens is a very loud ground. I mean,
he was definitely trying things which were out of the boxes. I thought Yash Dayal would bowl out. When you only have 3 seam options, Rasik was a bit expensive. He's not bowled out Yash Dayal, and Hazlewood, very good, you think? 2 for 22 of his 4 overs?
I think that's where the experience plays a big role, because you want somebody who can come in there, bowl those hard lines. If you see the last over, generally what happens, you try for Yorkers, you want to do something different, that it's a last over, but he just came in, he kept it very simple, bowled basic line and length, and where he got those 3-4 dot deliveries. I think Josh Hazlewood was the standout bowler, but as you mentioned, Yash Dayal should have bowled one more over instead of maybe Suyash, who didn't have a very good day. So yeah, they were running short on the ideas.
One thing that they will take from this, whichever way the game goes, Rahane the batter reminds you of Rahane the batter in that year at CSK. That's a great start.
Absolutely. I mean, we mentioned about his pickup shots, and we saw them today, and he is a tremendous batter. He just needs to play freely, just go out there and express himself, and this is the way he can bat. No, he has always batted that way.
Yeah. Did the surface suit Rahane today?
I mean, surface was quite tricky, to be very honest. It is not a placid batting track.
Right.
And I think even the RCB batters might find it a little tough, because few balls are coming, few are not coming, and it's a little too paced, to be
I
honest.
completely agree with Rayudu there, because it's not an easy wicket to
It will
bat
stay
on.
the same in the second innings, or will Dew come in? Will
I mean, it's not going to be a drastic change. I think KKR has an advantage because they've seen how the wicket is playing. Maybe they can go in with better plans than RCB. Try to attack, bowl a few more length balls, let the ball move off the wicket, which it was in the first innings, and that could just get them into the game.
Piyush is waiting for me to give this statement, which is KKR, of course, have two very attacking spinners.
Well, there are two attacking spinners, but they need to start well, because it's very important how they bowl in the power play, who's going to take the new ball, and if they manage to pick up two or three wickets in the power play, then the game is on.
Padikkal has been impacted in, just letting you all know. Now that I would think will still not disrupt the top order. Is it going to be Kohli and Salt, or Padikkal, who doesn't necessarily enjoy batting outside the opening spot? We saw that when he played for Lucknow too, but surely Kohli and Salt?
For sure. I don't think Padikkal has a choice here, because you can't displace Virat from that slot. Phil Salt also.
But I thought even Patidar should ideally stay 3, no? Or can he still go to 4?
I think Patidar can go 4, because then he's got a bulk of the spinners to play against, which is really good. But I see definitely the both the openers staying where they are.
Yeah. Well, last year Kohli played in a much more attacking style, and I think we had the conversation of the T20 World Cup was coming up. They wanted him to play that particular way. Now he's done from T20I cricket. This is a 174 to get. Is there a reason to believe he'll perhaps go to a slightly old school way of approaching a chase?
No, I think he's going to just bat the way he bats, and he paces the innings, especially in a chase, because he knows how to pace the innings. He knows there's a score on the board, and Phil Salt actually is the key for them, because he has kept against these two spinners. He knows what they're going to bowl, so it will be interesting if he plays through the innings.
Had a quiet series when England came here in the T20Is, didn't he? Phil Salt, for what it's worth, but we don't care about in between IPL form. Still a
That's what we were discussing about Sunil
Narine,
Narine.
yeah.
That averaging 9 strike rate is not that great, but see what he has done today. KKR has managed to get that many runs. It was because of his batting as well.
Vaibhav Arora, I can see on screen, is coming in, which is, I guess, smart. Do you expect him to have a big role over here? Ball to swing still like it did in the first few overs?
Vaibhav Arora gets the ball back in a big way. That will suit Virat Kohli's game. Virat Kohli loves the ball coming back in. Harshit Rana is going to be key, because he can get the ball to nibble away, and Virat Kohli is that prize wicket, and they are going to attack those not wide lines, but the fourth stump line to Virat Kohli.
Okay, prediction time. How do we see this game going, gentlemen? Varun?
I think KKR is going to win this game.
KKR is going to win this
Yeah,
game, so
I
they're going to
have to-
defend 174.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And because there's clouds and there's not going to be any dew,
Yeah.
so I think that's going to be a factor today.
Oh, you're going with him, that KKR to
No,
defend?
I still think RCB is going to win this
Okay,
game.
close game, Rayudu, you think?
Very, very close.
Yeah,
game.
right. Last over, something like that. Piyush
Not
Chawla.
last over, RCB will win.
So far, what Varun said's come through. Piyush Chawla is very confident about his prediction. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's join the conversation where I'll invite your questions on the game as well to Varun, Ambati and Piyush Chawla. So look forward to your company then on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.